Um, what else today? Sunday. I think it's the 30th, November 30th. Um, I got a lot on my mind, and we'll talk about some of it. Um, I have the most intelligent audience. I do, um, and the bravest, most high IQ and high morale, um, courage, and so we're going to get into some stuff here. Two people, how nice. One person, well, that's probably yeah, you can't go by those numbers. So my last this is part two. So in the previous video, Michigan military operating in Michigan. Um, I talked about a YouTube video about the port, Traverse City Port. I think director, um, the raid on her operation. Um, that I found verification by doing some research, but this that information is not really being broadcast, um, and the type of presentation in the video um, may not resonate well with people. Like, oh, that's fake. Um, how come it's AI? How come the imaging isn't matching the location? You know, this kind of stuff. So, I comprehend that, and boy, do I comprehend that. And then it goes off the rails from there. Which I'm going to talk about an experience that I had here recently, sharing this information. um, so I ran across another video about a raid in Michigan, and that was several days ago. And I could go look for it, but I'm simply gonna go by recall to describe for you what I found. I found another video about a military operation in Michigan. I think this one was related to political, one of the political types. um, and I tried to verify it. I couldn't verify it. And I went to the description, and the description says that it's all fake. Everything, every reference, everything about the video is fake, is fictional. So you got that stuff in the mix. So um, and now uh, there's a reason for that from my mind's eye, my position is that you can't trust anything. We can't. Where you know, if you're here listening to me, I'm preaching to the choir. we have been lied to about virtually everything our entire lives. And we have been slaved. We have been boxed. And there you are with the box right now, right? You're listening to these words. Odds are you're doing it with a box. Um, all this boxing, all this, and, and where does it get us? Where does it get us? And where doesn't it get us? And what is? I don't want to say the word too much, but I remember as a kid and as a young man, no cell phones, no computers. No cell phones, no computers. As a child and as a young man, the world was totally different then. We had direct communication. We had direct action. We had direct communications. We were we didn't spend our time trapped with a box. We weren't trapped with a box that slaves us, that tracks us, that monitors us, that drives us absolutely insane. And I don't care. It does. It seems like I want to say I don't care. It seems like it doesn't matter what the story is, no matter how big the story is. A couple days later, it's old news, and everybody's back to grumbling about how fucked up everything is, and they're getting bombarded with more and more and more. We've got I I have more time than most. Um, I have more time than most to do research, to analyze, to detect, um, and process. And and to me, this is so important to be able to, especially in this world where it's mass chaos everywhere, mass chaos, and it certainly appears in Babel, appears in the quantum now time that there is a very very sophisticated psyops, the most sophisticated psyops ever perpetrated on the population of our realm, of our territory, on this, whatever you want to call it, flat earth, globe, world. I don't give a shit. I don't want to be divided over what it is. One day we'll know for sure when we can actually trust the fucking science. But right now, you I can't trust anything, so why should you? And why should you trust me? You shouldn't. That's why I say don't trust me, don't believe me. do your own research, use your own brain, but I do bring the receipts. I do bring the evidence. I I do my the best I can to bring the truth forward, to not embellish, and and primarily what I have done over these years is basically document myself growing up, um, evolving from a slave to a sovereign, and and I think I should probably talk about that too. Right now, I almost wish I had a. I do. I got a pen. It's over here on the floor. And I got a piece of paper. All right, because I'm my mind is racing like crazy. So sovereign. That's one thing I want to touch on. This trust issue. Um, is it's important that there is trust in the realm. It is critical that there be trust in the now time, now space, and that we have facts, not stories, not manipulation, not control. Control in the now time, now space should be ours, each and every one of us. The ones who don't ever want to control, don't ever want to tell people what to do, when to do it, how to do it. No, that's what we have all been suffering with the illusion in America of freedom. When in reality, we're one of the least free, one of the sickest, one of the dumbest populations in the nations of the realm. So, like I say, I ran across that video. It was about Michigan, and it was politician, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, good. This is lining up. This is adding up with the position that I hold, because it's not a all encompassing knowing, because the depth of the situation is massive, um, and then it has equally a massive amount of tangents, which in themselves are massive. So you put that all in the mix with the military psyops, the greatest military psyops of all time, and here we are. Here we are. So now there's certain people who are uniquely qualified to talk about a global alliance and a military operation. One of them is Derek Johnson. And that this man is delusional, um, or so it would seem. So it would seem. Um, However, the fiction he brings forward uh, has an energy. It has it has a structure in the babble in the fiction, which all the scale tips way heavy to military operation. And um, and Derek Johnson, it appears, developed the phrasing target audience to use in place of normies. And so I will say the target audience for certain doesn't know about quantum grammar, correct sentence structure, communication, correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, performance. They don't know about it. They just don't know about it. Let's see if there. Okay, no comments in the chat yet. Hey, it's 1:11, and there's one person here, and it's 17:30. Uh, 17 minutes into the video. 17 minutes into the video. Oh, that's interesting. Happenstance. All right, I probably got sidetracked. Derek Johnson, uniquely qualified to talk about the military because he has the military experience. He comprehends the fiction world very well with the activities with regards to law of war manual, courts martial, executive orders, presidential emergency documents, et cetera, and tracking military, not just the rogue United States military, but military from all around the realm, the territory of many nations. So he's uniquely qualified, and he has his place. He's he's got his spot in the box, and he stays in his box, which I have. I don't want to say it. I have identified many of the podcasters, patriots, alternative media, etc., influencers, whatever term you want to use. I'm throwing all those terms out because a different one might resonate with different. But you're also smart here. I know we're not going to be You're not going to be start arguing with me about that kind of shit, right? So it was better part of 2.5 years now when a six-engine Soviet era bird buzzed my rooftop, and that clicked for me instantly. That was a com from the heads in the global military alliance. To direct that plane to fly over my roof like that, and that slow and that low, it's a very, very, very unique um, aircraft. And that was within days of the military being here with their Black Hawk helicopters and their transport helicopters. And that was also the time that I gave the American people a land location for a court of law, land, air, and water, not an admiralty, maritime, British rule, statute, act, code, rules, regulations, ordinance, slave court. To my knowledge, it is the only piece of land that you can identify GPS coordinates that has been given to the American people. And yet the American people do nothing. But the American people are submitting themselves into the slave courts, the circuit courts, the district courts, the federal courts, all of them with that mutilated flag, and anything but a ball on the flag standard. It's so there is no common law court. There is no common law court. There's no court for justice. And what else do we have here in America? Sharia courts. Sharia courts. They're all over the place. But the slaves are too fucking stupid, too fucking dumbed down, too toxified, too brain dead, too driven with fear to do anything for their peace, for their peace, for their position, for justice. And over the years, I have made many stabs at different different positions, different venues, with the hope that brave men would stand up and come together. And And when I say brave men, I mean brave men. Now, I'm not excluding the females, male and female, but is it the weaker sexes um, natural position to be the protector of the family? Men. Fuck no. So and today the young men they they got 15% of the testosterone that I have as I'm pushing 70. 15%. They're all confused. They don't know. Oh my God. And sick physically. And and to me, it is beyond mad thing. So I've tried to get the the people who are currently traveling with a private with a plate on the back of their vehicle that says private. Um, People that are traveling without a a permission from the of state of. Um, I heard something recently from a talk over on the Postmasters Basics, and the, uh, the guest, the co-pilot, guest co-pilot for the talk, talked about the word state and how that means stand. So um, interesting, interesting. So we need to stand. We need to own our fucking authority. So um, I come across another video that I took the time to do some digging on, and we'll take a look at it here. We got some good winter weather going on. Now, this image, we'll see the same image on video after video after video, and with all these different titles. And um, and in a lot of these videos, the scenery that they're showing, they're busting the doors down with the rammer, and they're tackling somebody. That's it's not matching, and I think that's okay because there is no video surfacing anywhere. Nobody with their boxes there getting video and getting it out. So there seems to be just a tremendous amount of shit going on that is not hitting you. It's not coming in through the alternative media. It's not coming in through the mainstream media. It's not coming in through the patriots, the talking heads in the alternative media space. It's coming out in these weird YouTubes, and then there's other ones there that are fake, and they say that they're fake, and so again, the whole thing is a little bit odd. Well, it's psychological warfare, baby. Get your big boy pants on, kick back, collect your thoughts, take a deep drag, and start to connect some dots. So this one drove me a little bit crazy. FBI storms Capitol Hill. Senator arrested with 14.7 billion drug empire. Operation Infrastructure, and then it says the betrayal America never saw coming. So, senator's office raided. So I went to search to see what could I find. What could I find? And I found a lot. So there's a link that I put over on my Telegram channel, and I'm going to click on it now. This is quite an article. Syndicated news. So if you have the desire to do your own research, you could search for syndicated news, and the title of this is FBI and ICE raid. Oh, this says Georgia. Wait a minute. Georgia. Oh no, oh no. Okay. You got to scroll down past the syndicate, that first paragraph. Then there's a video. Then it says, a pillar of the bench falls. Judge Marcus Hale, a 52-year-old federal jurist. Oh, it says in Georgia's district. Oh, well, okay, that could be. Hale's chamber in Atlanta, blah, 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 blah. This is a long, long article. And so where I was having trouble, I mean, this is a long article. This goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And this is all about Judge Hale. Where I'm at, where I scrolled to wiretaps and surveillance, January to June 2025. Agent monitored Hale's Cobb County mansion, capturing exchanges like clear the docket for Run 38, same route, no interference. This linked him to 12 complicit county officials and 3 sheriffs. So it goes on and on and on and on. So I'll close out of there. I'll go back here. I went to DuckDuckGo, and I'm searching through DuckDuckGo, and no relevant results, no relevant results, no relevant results. And so I kept changing a word or sentence structure, and then I use the search assist. So I think that's AI assist, and shabam. Federal agents recently raided the office of Judge. You get that? Judge. We never heard about judges being arrested. More and more and more, we're hearing about judges being arrested. Oh, and while I'm there, I want everybody to remember Tim Dever and Thomas D. Murphy. Thomas D. Murphy, may he rest in peace. Tim, as far as I know, is still sucking air, and now 3 years in prison. 3 years in prison. And I remember Tim was very, very active for a long time, and standing and putting himself in danger, in harm's way, and becoming a target. And he talked about some type of meeting some type of event where there were men gathered, there were conversations going on, and apparently there were fumbling, bumbling idiots in the crowd. Bumbling idiots, the FBI. And I remember Tim telling me that the FBI approached him and said, just be sure you're not arresting any judges. See, judges, oh, they're so protected. These British fucks. And so that that could have been 10 years ago. That could have been somewhere like 10 years ago. Tim's been in prison now for 3 years. I probably was a year before that. Maybe I heard that story, and it wasn't. I don't recall it as being fresh news. So to see these judges being arrested is huge. And so the thing about Senator's office, um, um, raid on Senator Marcus Hale's office, but he's a judge, Judge Marcus Hale. So a senator and a judge. How about that? A recent raid on Senator Marcus Hale's office has raised significant attention. The operation was conducted by federal law enforcement agency, although specific details about the reasons for the raid have not been fully disclosed. Next screenshot. The raid is part of an ongoing investigation, but the exact nature of the allegations against Senator Hale remains unclear. Law enforcement officials have not provided specific information regarding the evidence or leads that prompted the raid. So, you know, this goes on. It's and again, this is some research to verify this video. So I'm going to go ahead and open it over here so I can get into the description. Yeah, you ban that lighter. It's a last opportunity for the banned lighter, like, I don't know, 10 times a day, week after week after week, with an AI voice. Fuck these motherfuckers. So, all right, click on more on the description and then click on more again. There's nothing in here that says anything about this being fake, fictitious. What it does say is DEA and FBI raid senator's office in Washington, D.C., 2 tons of drugs seized, and then a straight up and down, I don't know what you call that. It's like an oversized eye. U.S. military. And so somewhere in the middle here it says this investigation exposes how criminal networks infiltrated political power while the U.S. military monitored parallel security threats nationwide. It goes on. The raid raises questions about national resilience, government integrity, and how deeply organized crime can penetrate institutions the U.S. military is sworn to protect. As the U.S. military increases conditions with federal agencies, Americans demand answers the U.S. military can no longer ignore. A moment testing the U.S. military itself. So, for as much attention that is given to the position of a global defense war, a global military alliance, a continuity of government, devolution. Um, there is so many dots that are there, like themselves, like this video I shared with you. And there's no need for me to go and put links in the comments or descriptions because if you can't click, click, think, click, and do it for yourselves, well, I think you're already lost. Um, we have to we have to uh, be sovereign. So okay, I got a note on that, sovereign. So listening to a recent communique from Russell, he emphasizes the difference between a rebel and a sovereign. He emphasizes the difference between a rebel and a sovereign. So, a rebel goes against the grain. A rebel is maybe um, pushing, whereas a sovereign creates. And so I have been trying to create. I have created. I've created a lot, but I have been trying to create a community of sovereigns, vigilantes, um, for justice. But my God, it's not easy. It is so not easy. So um, what the fuck are we gonna do? We got Sharia courts and we got British courts, and the American military has been MIA since at least 1871, for a fact. Um, and now, after generational warfare, global warfare, all the advances in that uh, darkness. Now they've got technology that the face of the operation, the Trump, the fiction, the fake president, um, tells all the people that the weapons that nobody can understand, and then you have Ashton Forbes, um, who does a very very good job of educating the layman on quantum physics and the evidence, and he brings the receipts, he brings the evidence, brings the receipts for the position that the United States military has been using nuclear weapons on the civilian population. nuclear weapons like most people can't comprehend, like vaporize you. It's not vaporize. That's the wrong word. Disembody you into a wormhole. Just make you disappear. Um, direct energy conversion, a neutronic fusion, direct energy conversion. Transistors, transistors, chips, direct energy conversion. You never have to charge yourself, never have to charge your box again. No, never have to charge your box again. And technology's there. Um, so so I shared the two videos. The one I talked about here recently about the Traverse City port director and port being raided, and how that was interwebbed to so many different other locations, right, uh, throughout the state and outside the state. Michigan, and I don't even, and again, I think Michigan doesn't qualify as a state, but uh, in the Babylonian realm, uh, state is used a lot. Uh, State of Michigan State, state of is pure fiction, um, and I don't think that any of the states have the qualification for statehood in the now time now space quantum position. They're all captured operations. The structure is not there. The foundation is not there. The operation is not there for statehood, for a nation state, or a nation standing, right? A nation state, a nation standing. Um, so, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go Sharia court? You're gonna go hire a bar agent? You're gonna hire a bar agent to fight the bar agents? Um, so, anyways, I got sidetracked. I shared that video. There's very, 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 very few people that I have reach out to, that I communicate with. Very, very, very few, and even fewer who I can have a conversation like this with. So, anyways, I shared the one video about Traverse City, and I got the response was "Holy cow!" And then here recently, I shared it, and I was really surprised with the response I got. It was an unhappy response. It was a black pilled response. I don't care about that. What about Pelosi? What about Shifty Schiff? What about that cast of characters, right? So there goes a wall. There goes a wall. We can't We can't celebrate or harmonize in a high vibration that judges are going down. I need Adam. I need Clinton. I need Obama. Well, stand the motherfucker up, people. Who the fuck are you waiting for to do this shit for you? You're waiting for somebody to make you sovereign. You waiting for somebody to make you brave. You waiting for somebody to give you intelligence. You got to do the fucking work. And then we stand together. So that is proven to be near impossible. Near impossible. Um, but there are a couple places where I think it has happened. I can't rattle off the guy in Africa, Taro or something. What the name is? What's the name of his nation? Anyways, he's one. There was another one where they went and ousted all the deep state. It doesn't get a lot of play, which is a shame. Um, and so I want to pivot. I want to pivot and tie. I want to pivot and tie these things together for you. Um, the things that I have done over the last several years, um, I have to say I'm lucky to be alive. And maybe had I started a year sooner, 2 years sooner, 3 years sooner, um, maybe I wouldn't be. However, I have a confidence. I have a confidence. I have a intuition based on my experiences with the military. Um, from the garrison command at Camp Grayling, receiving my court cases with the likes of Gretchen Whitmer, the head of the DEA, the head of the USPTO, other judges, sheriffs, et cetera, right? That kind of. To a couple years later, giving the American people a land location for a court of law, land, air, and water, and then stepping into that court to operate. Um, and the military shows up, Black Hawk helicopters. And it's been going on now for 2.5 years with these communications. My intuition, my gut is I'm alive because the military is protecting me. That's what I think. And for that, I'm very grateful. For that, I'm very grateful, very thankful. And it gives me a peace. I think something that's lacking for all of us is peace. And men, I think one of the most deep seated feelings that a man wants to be experiencing is peace. Because with peace, everything else can be enjoyable. Almost everything else. The majority of your life is much more enjoyable when you have peace. But when you are boxed in, when you're boxed in like this, okay, like that, there I am, I'm boxed in, I'm with this box. And that box is a tool. It's a lot of tools. So it it has value in any time to that regard. Maybe I want to simply escape and turn it off, or maybe I want to use it to help me escape by playing some music, or watching a movie, or how else can I escape? I don't know, because otherwise I'm using it for information, to using it as a tool to do research, to investigate, to learn, to expand. And there's so many areas. And so now I have I've talked with, communicated with 4 people about what I'm showing you in this video and the last one with regards to these YouTube videos, and verification of what they're talking about with regards to military operating with the I call it the rogue uh, pirates posing as law enforcement or policy enforcement, right? Um, and then we're seeing in these headlines where a lot of these sheriffs are getting caught up. A lot of these police departments are getting caught up. Military's getting caught up, right? So um, a when you have such a massive undertaking as a global defense war in the position of today's technology and the generational experience of warfare, and the population is fluoride brained, MK Ultra, televisioned, programmed, deprived of nutrients, flooded with toxins, um, and everything around you being fake your whole life to control you and make you a slave. Wow. And everyone is so busy, 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 busy. You got kids, you're busy. Um, you got a job and you got kids and a life partner. You're busy. I get it, and you don't have time. You don't have time to and then how many fucking rug pulls have we had? How many fucking rug pulls have we had? Time and time and time and time and time and time again. A lot. Um, I talked a little earlier about Derek Johnson. When Derek Johnson came on the scene, he started talking. Um, I was listening. I was listening. I was paying attention and putting it in the memory banks. Um, getting it wired into the system, and and then I started to be in disfavor, uh, to be finding myself being how do I want to say positions I was having a hard time getting over because I have I've gotten pretty good at reaching out to and connecting with people, and I have I can't get platformed anywhere, right? Can't get platformed anywhere. Even when I'm the one who's approached and I have been vetted. That's and the big buildup, and then right. So, anyways, that was one of my first issues with Derek Johnson. Was he was saying he answers all emails himself. Be patient. You might have to be patient. I answer all emails myself personally, but he wouldn't answer mine. Uh, he had to have his flunky do it, and then blow me off. And and it was somewhere around there in Derek's rhetoric. He started talking about how he wanted to become a he wanted to get a bar card. He wanted to get a bar card. He was talking about his friend who's an attorney. And on one hand, he's saying my attorney's not that kind of an attorney. And in the same breath, he's saying, I'm telling my attorney, uh, the bar, right? So, well, what kind of fucking messaging is this, right? What kind of messaging is that? So now I've got even more. And then Derek's so damn proud of the fringe flag, the mutilated flag. He's so fucking proud of that. So I kept getting driven further and further away from Derek Johnson, and he's Mr. Law and Order, but he will never, ever, ever, ever talk about flag law. Never. Um, which is a common theme I mean, outside of Russell um, and very few that might mention it, it is oppressed and suppressed. And from my position, it's attacked. It's attacked. Um, it's another level of fear. It's another level of fear that goes beyond everything else that I did. Um, but yet, my knowledge of that, my knowledge of postal mechanics, my knowledge of quantum grammar has strengthened my position standing. I should see if there's any comments in the chat. No comments in the chat. 2 people here. This video is damn near viral. If you got a question or a comment you want to put in the live chat, I'm your Huckleberry. So, Russell's talked about different levels of sovereign, and I've heard some more talk on that uh, from the channels over there, and so you can have a spiritual sovereignty, right? Um, Now the deep state might want to come get you, but they you know, you can hold that in your head forever, can't you? You can hold that in your heart, your soul, whatever your spirituality is. Um, that sovereignty, I think that's that's really hard. Nah, they're MK Ultra. Their psychological and chemical manipulations can get quite extreme. But for the most part, I think we have the power. We have the power to be sovereign spiritually. Um, and uh, and so there's discussion of other levels of sovereignty, and I think I want a little more clarity in my head before I start going off on that. But folks, your courts, your courts, your stand, your forefathers fought for freedom of the press, not for a press that manipulates and slaves you and lies to you. They gave us guns. They gave us guns so that we could stand against a tyrannical government. They gave us instructions, structure, knowledge, and what have we done? Look what's happened to us. British slave courts, all corporate, all predatory, predatory, not courts of justice, predatory courts. So I am quite confident that there is a military operation going on, and the experiences that I've had here on the property, some very very odd aircraft. Um, not American, not United States, um, as well as United States military. So, and then a lot of what would look like private, but are they really private, or are they part of the 60,000 man army coming over here uh, flying Qs on Q, right? White jets circling my property. Um, I, they're to me, the experience that I've had here and what I have documented primarily on Rumble and Telegram, very little on YouTube. All those videos, most every one of them is a yawner. Oh, yeah, yeah. But you put them together, you analyze them, you analyze the event that happened in the sky, you analyze the time period that it happened, and all of a sudden, you got a whole different picture. And but nobody has time. Nobody has time to do that, to digest that, or even the space, the solitude to be able to absorb it and then think about it and then add it together. So um, in the meantime, I keep doing it now. Since the weather has changed, uh, we got snow coming down, wind blowing right now. This is the time of year for this kind of weather and cloudy skies. We've seen these birds drop down real low out of the clouds, so they can do a flyover, um, and deliver their message. Um, what I have noticed over the last couple of weeks is nighttime activity. Nighttime activity. Um, and nothing really that I can document with audio video because there's nothing to see, and the microphone's probably not sensitive enough and has sound canceling, and then you got the winds, and um, so I can port on it. So I guess that's what I'm doing now, because I've posted very little sky events here over the last couple of weeks, and but yet I have noticed the well, it's always changing. It's always changing. Every day has been different for 2.5 years, and then sometimes things go quiet for a week, um, and then all of a sudden they'll start back up again. So I had a quiet period, a low activity period for about a month. The weather change, and for the last week or two, it's been primarily nighttime. So sometimes I'll acknowledge it by flipping the lights on and off. I light up on cue, and um, so I do my part to keep messaging that this is a sovereign military base, and that the American military has been MIA, and that the fiction Trump, the actor Trump, the actor Hegseth, is slave trading the Michigan men, because the United States had its third and final bankruptcy. It has not been put back together by the people. It's been 25 years now. In 1999, third and final bankruptcy of the United States corporation, and the American military is still slaved by the United States military industrial complex. And you got this fiction fuck Trump with his fucking fiction fuck executive order, federalizing the fucking fiction National Guard. And then you got all these fucking commanders that have no idea about intelligence, military intelligence, and their fucking duty to the American people. So you got all these fucking National Guards being fucking slave traded, God knows where. So right here, on this 40 acres, I have provided a court of law for the American people. I provided a helicopter landing zone and a sovereign post for Michigan Military Command to port in. And I have it in huge letters on the roof of my house. American military, MIA, since 1871. Well, come home. And that's what these fucks need to do. The American people have got to stop being fucking slaves. They've got to stop being fucking dumb ass, fucking emasculated puppets who cannot protect the women and the children. You cannot protect your women. You cannot protect your children. You are fucking slaves. Wake the motherfuck up. Michigan Military Command. You hear me? Come home. American men, you hear me? Fucking stand. All right. I'm going to leave it there. No comments in the live chat. I love you. It says there's 2 people here. I love y'all. I'll be back. I'll be back to talk some more because, the weather has me pretty much inside, and I have no projects. 2 years ago, I was finishing up the signage for free weed, free seed, free plants, free clones, and I was doing that right in here. My bad. Projects to keep me busy through the winter. A lot of seeds. But now I got all these seeds. I can't give away a seed. Been years since I've had an evaluation on the mouth rinse. The fucking patent that did issue is now expired. And nobody's got the fucking balls to talk about it. Nobody. fucking pussies. So, how are we going to get testosterone in these young men? Huh? How are we going to get testosterone in these young men? And how are we going to get intelligence into the military? It's the American men that keep putting on the fucking uniform. It is the American men who keep putting on the fucking uniform. The fucking, any fucking branch, every fucking branch. Wake the fuck up, you dumbass. You dumb motherfucking asshole. Wake the fuck up and do the right thing. Do the right motherfucking thing. Do your job to protect the people. Because the American men cannot protect their women and their children. And it's your fucking fault, military intelligence. Your fault.